How you doing?
What's up, homie?
I'm doing great. What's up?
Good job so far, man, on The Ultimate Fighter. I don't watch every episode of every season, but you and TJ are so good. It's obvious that you guys have a genuine, real displeasure being around each other.
You know what? It was for me to be around TJ. It wasn't bad for the first, I don't know, week. It was weird because Dwayne and TJ, they kept coming up to me and trying to congratulate me on the win, and Dwayne kept trying to shake my hand. I'm like, Dwayne, I'm not here to be friends. I'm not here to be cool with you. I don't like you. We've never been cool. Don't try to come up and congratulate me because it's fake. It's a backhanded comment. I saw you go in the media and say Dominic was hurt. He looked off. This and that. I'm like, don't say nothing. Don't go out of your way to be fake and try to compliment me on my win. I said, give me a little bit of credit, but you don't. So you can just keep it at that. That was like the first day of filming, So I was like, it was just weird. And then proceeded them trying to be nice the whole time. And I know they're true callers, so it was just, for me, it started getting old to me. I'm like, all right, this nice guy act, it's all for the cameras, I just kept it who I am, the rational, in your face, person that I am. I don't like being around fake people or people that lie. So I don't never deal well with that. I never have, and that's raw emotion for me.
Yeah, no, you're definitely emotional. I definitely relate to that because I'm pretty emotional too. I like that you say the me, the rational guy, and it got bad eventually. The first week, don't you grab TJ by the neck? No,
they showed that. I think that was the first. I don't know how they. The producers put that. I don't think that was the first week because I was there a whole week. I remember because we had to do the pre-taping and the stare downs, and it was just awkward because TJ was being so nice. I think the first time we squared down, TJ looked at me and he's like, "Man, you grew." And I was like, "Man," I just looked at him and said, "No, USADA came in. USADA came in. You just shrunk." And he was like, looked around and was like, "Oh yeah, it was weird, man. It was like these guys were coming like trying to be too nice. Like it was so awkward to me." And I think that was the second week that I grabbed them by the throat.
Well, Matt was right. It was really funny though, because like you guys, me, I'm pretty rational. In the first episode, you grabbed this neck, but dude, I loved it because to me, there's no bullshit with it, and the animosity doesn't feel fake. It doesn't feel like, hey, these guys are trying to sell a fight. Like before this happened, I was like, I want to see these guys fight because I knew you guys had a genuine, and you're both great fighters, so it's a real thing.
Right. Yeah, it's an appeal to it because TJ, I mean. He's a great fighter. He's a great, in this life I need worthy opponents, and he's one of those opponents that's going to make you grow in the octagon and grow as a fighter, grow as a human in there. So, yeah, he's great. I've always wanted to fight TJ, since he departed. He had the belt, and then he lost it, and it was Cruz, and I, took it from Cruz, and now it's TJ. And TJ's his last few fights, he's done well, I mean, against his competition. So that's and then obviously the added former teammate, the way he left, how he continues to lie. It just, man, I just really want to beat this guy's, face in and then move on in this chapter because it's, he's wish-washy in the media, and then he's, he doesn't want to, then he'll send me a, private message saying, it's all kinds of dumb shit. I don't know, man. He's lost. He's a lost dude.
Cody, let me, as a fan too, like, again, I've spoken to you and I know Urijah, so I tend to believe you guys because I have more of a relationship with you. But TJ is denying it. Like, how are fans supposed to differentiate? Because, like, especially that conversation between Urijah and between TJ, where he's like, "Hey, look, you gave me an ultimatum." No, I didn't. And they're the only two that seem to know the truth of it. And it's like, how is a fan supposed to differentiate exactly what happened? It's really hard to weed through it all. There's so many bad feelings.
Right. The thing is that there was never ultimatum. That's the thing that upsets me the most. That I don't care, TJ. That ship has sailed about him leaving and what he did to the team. I don't even care. You're gone. Cool. Don't continue to lie. No one ever gave you ultimatum. No one ever told you to this or that. This guy came in. I almost got kicked out of the Ultimate Fighter when Connor and Faber were coaching the show.
Right.
And I stuck up for Faber and Feely, and what it stemmed from was TJ. He's my teammate, so I'll fight for anyone on my team. That's something that I'm loyal to. This Team Alpha Male is something that saved my life. It's something that was a fixated point where I needed to get to. Thought that I needed to get here as a teenager to be a world champion, and really, man, it was a focal point that I needed to, an outlet. I needed my destination to get to be a world champion, and really, to hone my skills on martial arts and grow as a human around these great humans. But the thing is that TJ was, we asked when that whole thing was going on, we asked TJ, like, are you with us? And he's like, I'm Team Alpha, man. I don't know what you're talking about. So he's saying this and Connor's saying that. So I'm like, all right, this is the guy that's giving us his word. A man is only as good as his word in a handshake. So TJ's giving us his word, saying that he's Team Alpha male. And then the next week, he's moving to Colorado, having a meeting with Faber, saying he's just doing this, and then he can't represent the team, but he still wants to come out here and train when he's in California. And Faber's like, if you can't represent the team, man, you're not on the team. I'm sorry.
Right, sure.
And then he would come to the gym crying in street clothes, literally crying to our teammates and trying to recruit them, and saying that Faber kicked him out of the gym. I remember sitting on the walls on the mat, and I got up, and I overheard, him talking in his little whiny little voice.
He throws it in.
I got up and I was like, TJ, that's not the deal, bro. It's like, don't even sit here and try to lie and spread these lies. You didn't get kicked out of the team. You chose to leave the team for money. Go, be gone. Just do it. Just leave. Don't come out here and make it worse. Just leave. And that's what that was. Now he's going on and saying, the ultimatum, he was kicked off the team. It was never that. Hey, go ahead. I don't care. If you feel good with Dwayne, go with Dwayne. That's fine. The way I would have respect for TJ if he did it differently. Joe Benavidez left, around the same time and did it respectfully. Had his wife, wife now out there, and he did split camps up, out in Vegas. His wife lived out there, and he was honest and communicate with everybody that, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I feel good with. We're like, all right, cool. And that's fine. And, you don't see him getting, the team hating him. We still hang out with Joe. Joe's still, we still hang out with Joe. We're still cool with Joe. The way TJ did it was a straight, bold-faced lie to everybody. The people that was his, best friends, and he's still saying in his interviews that Justin Buckles and Dana Castillo are his best friends. It's like, how can you be best friends with someone that lies and just continues to lie?
It's the way he went about it, basically. That's what you're saying, compared to how Joe did his thing.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. I think things could have been way different if TJ was manned up about it, was just real and didn't lie to everybody about it. And I would be cool. I don't care if he left the gym or whatever. If he feels good with Dwayne, that's good. You feel good with someone, go with them. I might have my uncle that I moved out here, but I still bring my uncle out. That's who I've had since the beginning. So I can kind of relay on that. Like, he feels good with Dwayne, okay, but don't sell out everybody else and lie who brought you up. That's the thing that I'm about, and that's ship sailed for me. Like, it's just the reason what everyone wants to go on the media or ask the fans, or why are you guys acting so crazy when he left and Joe, and you're not acting like that toward Joe. It's because Joe did it differently,
sure.
And TJ is still continuing to lie about everything. And then it's everybody on his team that was his friends for the past 10 years is like, dude, we can't wait for you to smash this guy. We're tired of his lies. He's just lying through his teeth on national television. So that's where we're at with that.
Well, Cody, there's an old expression. It's not the crime, it's the cover-up. Like, if what you're saying is accurate, which it sounds like at least you believe it's very truthful. Like when Nixon, did the thing that, like, if he had just told the truth at the end of it, everything would have been okay. And sometimes that's the way it is. Like, you just got to go, hey, man, this is why I left, and it wasn't maybe the best. And then everything kind of goes away because it's out there. Yeah,
exactly. That. And then I think even still, like the whole show, I kept like whispering in his ear. I'm like, bro, just be real with it. Like, I was like, we were beside each other. I was like, man, just admit that it was real. Admit that it was real. Admit that happened. Just admit that the way you did it was wrong. And it'd be cool. Like, I have nothing beef towards TJ. It's more the team, and I don't care. I don't have to like TJ, and I don't have to not like TJ to go in there in a octagon and try to knock him out. He's trying to like go in there with the less beef. He thinks it's a level playing field for whatever reason, because he's not just fighting me. He's fighting all his former teammates and friends and people that built him to the world champion, and he left them, So he's not just fighting me on July 8th, and that's why he wants to try to reconcile the beef with everybody. And it stems with me because he's the one that's got to get locked in the cage with me, and I'm, it's not going to be a fun night for him.
And very importantly, thank you for not smashing me for mentioning Richard Nixon in a 2017 UFC interview. I'm a true asshole. But now you guys are very competitive with each other. As of right now, last night, Jesse Taylor defeated Mehdi Baghdad. Am I saying his name correct? Now, you're down 3-0 to TJ, which I know as a coach that's got to be very frustrating because you're a good coach and these guys are all really good fighters, but you can't make them do what you want them to do in the ring. So how are you handling that?
You know what? It's I've dealt with loss my whole entire life, so it's like, God, it's still uncomfortable and a feeling that you want to do, but literally we're trying to get these guys, in a short amount of time that we have them, we're trying to just give them the best tools they can, but still they got to go out there and perform. That's what they're not doing. We're right there in a lot of these fights, and they're just not performing, and TJ's guys are capitalized on it. TJ went in with a game plan, got invested. I went in, with my coaches telling me not to get too invested in these guys and, not to become so driven on winning or losing or because what matters is July 8th and my fight with TJ. But it's hard not to. You got to get to know these guys as rather just not fighters, and TJ is very competitive. That guy would, like I said, he would sell out his mom in a game of chess or whatever. So he wants to win, lose, whatever. He wants to do that. Me, I'm not getting invested in that, but we try. I brought in the best coaches for them guys. I'm not the best coach. I'm still a student of the game, learning every day. I'm in there helping them out, but I brought my coaches in to help coach because I'm a fighter. I'm not a coach. TJ wants to portray that he's a coach, and he does this and he does that, which is good. He gave him a lot of attention, and from the episodes that I saw, so that's good for him. And
well, Cody, to start to interrupt it, what you just said kind of is the next follow-up question I was going to ask, because he criticized you and saying you didn't care because you weren't at the ring, but then you just say, hey, look, I'm not a coach. I brought coaches and I'm a fighter. Is that because those guys you think are a little bit better ringside and because they're more used to coaching and you don't want to do it just for the ego of doing it?
Yeah, for myself, maybe I'll transition in the next, decade when I'm hopefully, or however long I'm fighting for,
sure,
Lord willingly. I'll go in there and coach, but right now I'm not a coach. I have better eyes when I'm in there fighting. I see everything. I see the openings. My coaches have more experience than me coaching and fighting. I don't. So that's what I felt like. Third person in the cage, it can be more of my coaches that see, but I would sit there on the sidelines and coach and holler out, and I feel like I'm in the fight a lot of the times when I'm fighting, so I'm up shadowing, and those guys are more calm. They've had that experience. I haven't had that experience coaching. Not saying that I can't coach, but something that I'm not ready to do.
And Justin
TJ, he wants to. Yeah.
No,
he wants to say that I was, that it was selfish of me not being on there. I'm not these. How is that selfish? I'm not the best coach. These guys are way better coaches than me. Someone for the best coaches in the corner. It's not about me. I can sit on the sideline and let those coaches go, and it's good to help my coaches get the recognition that they deserve. They don't. They put in all the work. They put in the work the whole series or season to coach these guys. Out practices and grinding them through these for little pay. They should get recognition. They should get the camera time. They should get that because that's ultimately they're the one that trained these guys. I was in there training with them and doing the practices with them, but I wasn't coaching them, and I'll come out and say that. I said that since the beginning. I'm not the best coach.
Well, it's also, too, because the unique, it's kind of like when Matt went back in the house, you're not coaching guys who are brand new coming up trying to get, these are all guys who are veterans who have been around, so a lot of them have a lot of fight experience, so it's kind of hard to tell them, hey, do this, when they're like, yeah, we know that, we just didn't execute it. So I think you're smart to think that way. And Justin Buchholz was on, and he said, he confirmed that there was indeed a tape of you knocking out TJ in sparring, and our own Matt Serra has seen it.
Yeah, I did see it.
I seen it.
I seen it.
He synced it.
I seen it. Yeah, I think that's
so anyone who thinks you were making that up, you certainly are not making that up.
Oh, I know. That's the thing. I don't have to lie, and that's the thing. I never wanted to come out about that. The only reason that I did say something in the media about that is if you remember, if you look back on Dominic Cruz, TJ Dillashaw sit down with John Anik, Dominic's like, oh, yeah, you beat your teammates up. And TJ's like, yeah, as a matter of fact, for the past 3 years, I beat them all up. And I was like, oh, pump the brakes. I was like, I don't remember me laying on my back looking up at the lights. You know what I mean? That's what I said. And then it portrayed into this. And Justin actually has the video. It's not even my video. Justin has a video on his GoPro. I remember that day, like 4 people got knocked out. Justin knocked out someone. I knocked TJ out. But that's the only thing I said. It's practice, So it's like, come out about it. I don't want to share the video, so I said, hey, pick a charity and we'll donate the money. It's like, do some good for it if you don't think it's true. And the thing is, like, TJ knows it's happened. That's happened a couple of times. It's like, and he's just like, dude, we have video proof of it. So everything you say, he says the video never happened, it never happened, or I got knocked out and don't remember it. That guy, after that happened, that was the second time it happened, he chased me, or not chased me around the gym, but he followed me around the gym for like 30 minutes saying that he slipped. I'm like, dude, let it go. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you slipped or I knocked you out or what. I don't care. I saw what I saw. You got up after that and did the stinky leg across the gym. I know it's like, it doesn't matter. It's gym. but that gave me the supreme confidence. This is a guy that's hitting his pinnacle. It's hitting his, right before he won the world title, and I'm doing that. I'm 1-0, 2-0. This is 3 years ago, 3 years ago. I'm 10 fights, better. Not saying that TJ, since he's left, gotten worse, but he sure in the hell hasn't gotten better. He went from knocking guys out in the 4th and 5th round to not knocking anybody out, not even knocking anyone on their ass in 2016. So that's performance-based right there.
So Scott, I'm so sorry to interrupt. He has to get to training.
Oh, who's this? Who is that?
Joe.
Yo, Cody, go, Mom, hang up the phone. I'm on the phone, Mom.
Yeah, it's like the kid. Mom, I gotta do something here.
Mom, you're embarrassing me.
Hey, remember back on the phone line when you call your girlfriend like 4th or 5th grade, and Mom, you're like, all right, Cody, time's up. You're like, oh, we're just getting.
You're like, no, Mom, hang up.
Yeah, you're like, and your thing is, I'm gonna knock him out in the 2nd round. Cody, your room's a mess. All right, guys, I gotta go.
All right, Cody.
I had one more question for you. First of all, congratulations, dude, on getting engaged. Your fiance is gorgeous. And, was it weird having TJ tweet a congratulations to you?
You know what? No, I was like, hey, that's cool, whatever.
Sure.
And then this guy goes on and says how much he, found his love and da-da-da-da. And then the guy messaged me yesterday, direct messaged me. He's like, man, people don't know what to do when we're not talking shit to each other. I'm like, talking shit to each other? Like, I don't know. He's just posting stupid-ass, like, Pinterest memes and those
memes,
quotes and stuff. Yeah, memes, whatever. I don't know how to. Yeah.
Hey, I'm like you, Cody. I would have called it. I called it memes, and before I've always fucked that up. I always fuck it up.
Yeah, I'm just saying quotes from now on.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so he did that and like messaged me, and to get people don't know, I genuinely gave you my well wishes. I'm like, it's cool. Like I said, he just doesn't want. He's trying to have no beef going in there. He thinks it's a level playing field because he's trying to have no beef, and I don't have to message him back. It's whatever. Like TJ, I thanked you for giving me the best wish. It was awesome. I mean, it was a great time to go out there. I have a video of it actually. It was pretty crazy. We went on a spirit quest. Long story short, I proposed to her, and she got shocked, and she was in shock and obviously said yes. Well, didn't really say yes. She shook her head. I think she was in complete shock, started crying, got emotional, and we were on these rocks, and there was uneven rocks. And she hugged me. I almost fell off of the rock. And we're on these big, vortexes in Sedona. It was hilarious. So I'll probably put the video up later or whenever. It's our memory, but it's pretty funny.
Before you go, how did you say it? Did you say I want to spend my life with you, or did you actually do the traditional "Will you marry me," or did you say it differently?
Well, I kind of did like a mix of Rocky and my own little flair. But I was like, hey, I don't know, we were standing on top of the vortex and said I wouldn't mind spending the rest of my life with you. This is beautiful out here, huh? Something like that. And then I got down on one knee, and I said, will you marry me? Would you mind marrying me? Now Rocky's like, hey, would you mind marrying me? I said, would you mind marrying me? And she thought we were taking a picture because we had our spirit guide beside us, and I gave him the phone, told him to record it. And she kind of looked at me like this look like, what the hell are you doing down there? Get up. You know what I mean? But I was like, oh, okay, will you marry me? And then it hit her, and then she just broke into tears, and I said, yeah. So it was a good memory. I actually got a little emotional, too. I thought I had it. I was walking up this mountain. I was out of breath. I'm like, man, I'm out of shape. Like, I just was nervous how am I going to say this? I just met this guy that I'm going to give him my camera and tell him I'm going to propose to yesterday, our spirit guide. It turned out great, man. It was all organic and just happened, and it was great, man. We had a blast out there, and, I went out there for myself, our relationship, but now it's on, I'm here back in Sacramento and healthy. I have my health. I have, my family, my fiance, and my teammates. I'm just ready to go get back to the grind. That's something I love to do. I love going and traveling and doing all these other things with the platform that, with being the UFC champion or being a UFC fighter or whatever you call it. But I love being out here in the gym, blood, sweat, and tears with these guys and helping them advance in their career and helping me keep advancing in mine. So I'm excited to get out here. And today's sparring. So first day